Hare Krishna, welcome to our weekly Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we will continue our discussions of Krishna in Dwarka. He is being received and welcomed by all the residents of Dwarka. Today we'll start with verse number 21. So we'll read the translation and purport today. Mataji's turn today. Any Matajis would like to read? You would like to read? Okay. Text number 21, please repeat. Bhagavan Satra Bandhunam Paurana Anuvartinam Yata Vid Upasangamya Sarvesham Manam Adade.
Krishna, the personality of Godhead, approached them and offered due honor and respect to each and every one of their friends, relatives, citizens, and all others who came to receive and were welcomed him. The Supreme Lord Personality of Godhead is neither impersonal nor an inner object, unable to reciprocate the feelings of his devotee. Here the word Yatha Vidhi, or just as it behooves, is significant. He reciprocates just as it behooves with his different types of admirers and devotees. Of course, pure devotees are one of the type only because they have no other object of service but the Lord, and therefore the Lord also reciprocates with such pure devotees. Just as it behooves mainly, he is always attentive to all the matters of his pure devotees. There are other who designate him as impersonal, and so the Lord also does not take any personal interest. He satisfies everyone in terms of one's development of spiritual consciousness, and a sample of such reciprocation is repeated here with his different vehicles.
So here the main focus is how Krishna reciprocates. The same thing continues in the next verse also. Verse 22, please repeat. Prahava Vivada Danashlesa Prava Vivadanashlesa Karasparsha Smite Ashvasya cha svapakebhyo Varescha bhimate vibhu.
Lord greeted everyone present by bowing his head, exchanging greetings, embracing, shaking hands, looking and smiling, giving assurance and awarding benedictions, even to the lowest in rank. Purport. To receive the Lord Shri Krishna, there were all grades of population beginning from Vasudev, Rudrasev, and Gargamuni, the father and grandfather and teacher, down to the prostitutes and chandalas, who are accustomed to eat dogs, and every one of them was properly greeted by the Lord in terms of rank and position. As pure living entities, all are the separated parts and parcels of the Lord, and thus no one is an alien by his eternal relation. Such pure living entities are graded differently in terms of contamination of the modes of material nature. But the Lord is equally affectionate to all his parts and parcels. Despite material gradation, he descends only to recall his materialistic living beings back to his kingdom. The intelligent persons take advantage of this facility offered by the personality of Godhead to all living beings. No one is rejected by the Lord from the kingdom of God, and it remains with the living being to accept this or not.
So these two verses focus on how the Lord reciprocates. Last week we saw that even the prostitutes were welcoming Krishna, and we discussed on how there are prostitutes in Dwarka. What does that signify? Today we see how the Lord exchanged affection according to the rank and position. But he reciprocated with everyone. The way they approached him, the way they have a relationship, that way he reciprocated. He did not reject. So the theme is no one is rejected. Everyone is accepted by the Lord. With everybody, the Lord reciprocates. So we'll focus on this theme, but I was wondering if we could also read the translations only of verse 23, 24, and 25. So you can please repeat after me, verse 23. Swayam cha guru vipre sadare stava sadare stave stavireirapi sadare stavireirapi आशीर्भिर्युच्यमानोऽन्ये वन्दिभिश्चा विशत्पुरम्.
And Lord personally entered the city accompanied by elderly relatives and invited Brahmanas with their wives, all offering benedictions and singing the glories of the Lord. Others also praised the glories of the Lord.
Verse 23, 24. Rajamargam gate Krishne Dvarakaya kulastriyah Dharmyan arurur vipra Tadikshana mahotsava.
Then Lord Krishna passed over the public roads. All the ladies from the respectable families of Dwarka went up to the roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival.
Last verse. Nityam nirikshamananam yad api dvarakokasam na vitrupyanti vrishah shriyo damangam
Inhabitants of Dwarka were regularly accustomed to look upon the reservoir of all beauty, the infallible Lord, yet they were never satisfied.
So this is a very beautiful theme how everybody is greeting the Lord, and here it's described all the women went to the terrace and the balcony, the Jirokas, and they were greeting, and Ugrasen, Pradyumna, everyone the Lord reciprocated. This is the beauty of the Lord. So there is a very beautiful verse in the 10th canto when Krishna is about to kill Kamsa and he enters the assembly, that wrestling arena. So when Krishna enters, so the stadium is packed. Everybody is eagerly waiting for Krishna and Balram to enter. So when Krishna and Balram enter, there is a verse which Shukdev Goswami explains how everyone saw Krishna differently based on their relationship. And Krishna reciprocated. They all got different feelings depending on how they approached Krishna. Mallanam Shanir Nrinam Naravaro Trinam Smaro Murtiman Gopanam Swajano Satam Kshitibujam Sastava Pitaro Shishu Mrityu Bhojapate Virada Vidusha Tattvam Param Yoginam Vrishninam Paradevate Vidito Rangam Gatasagraja. Rangam Gatasagraja. Bade bhai ke saath Krishna entered the Ranga, the area, the arena. When Krishna entered, 10 different types of people saw Krishna in 10 different ways. Mallanam Ashanir. Mallanam are the wrestlers, Chanura, Mushtika. They were waiting to kill Krishna. And there are 3 other assistants. Like, in cricket, we have extra 11th man, 12th man. Person 3, Shala, Puta and Toshala were waiting. If something happens to Chanura, Mushtika, they will attack. And then there were Kamsa's cousins also waiting. They all were killed eventually. There were 10 of them. So that we'll discuss later, but all of that is there in the Mathura section. So all these wrestlers are there. When they saw Krishna as thunderbolt. Mallana Mashani, thunderbolt has come, it will strike us. It's very powerful personality. Yes. Mallana Mashani Nrinam Naravaro. All the men saw that. Naravaro, सबसे स्मार्ट आया है इधर, सबसे स्मार्ट आदमी आया है. Naravaro is the best amongst men. Wow. what grace, what charm, क्या style है, क्या अंदाज है, क्या swag है. Wow. I wish I was like that, But then we are looking at Krishna like that. Mallanam Ashanir Nrinam Naravaro Strinam Smaro Murtinam. The women saw Smara. Smara means Cupid. They saw Mr. Cupid has come. And their hearts were pierced with the arrows of Cupid. बोलते ना क्या बोलते हैं उसको आए भर रहे थे वो आए भर कौन आ गया romantic conjugal feelings. So that was the women. So 3 kinds. So Mallana wrestlers, men and the women. And then Gopanam Swajano Satam Shiti Pujam Sastava Pitaro Shishu. Gopanam Swajano, all the Gopas who had come from Vrindavan, they said Swajano, अरे अपना है ये तो अपना स्वजनो ये हमारा फैमिली वाला इज आवर मैन. तो दैट अपनापन था उनके अंदर स्वजनो. मल्लानाम शनीर नृणाम नरवरो स्त्रीनाम स्मरो मूर्तिनाम गोपानाम स्वजनो सताम क्षितिभुजाम शास्ता. Satam. See, there were some impious rulers, kings who had also come there. They were Kamsa's alliances. They were Mahagadbandhan of Kamsa. So they had come there and he had invited them for this festival. So they were also in the assembly, in the pavilion, stadium, watching the match. And they were all impious rulers. Satam, Kshitibujam, Sasta. So when they saw Krishna, they saw somebody has come to punish us. Our punishment has come. Because we are impious, we have done gadbad, we will be punished. Oh, as soon as they saw Krishna, they saw punishment. Gopanam sajano satam kshitibujam sastava pitaro shishu. The elderly people, they saw Shishu, right? It's our bacha. Vatsalya pyara. He's so lovable child. Mrityu bhojapate. Bhojapati, Kamsa saw Mrityu. He saw मेरा काल आ गया, death has come. Mrityu Bhojapate Virada Vidusha. There were some unintelligent people also there. They were not believers in God. सब टाइप के लोग होते हैं sitting. So they thought कि कोई ordinary व्यक्ति है. Virata Purusha is come. So all everything is one and all that. They were not impressed. Because they considered Krishna ordinary. Tattvam param yoginam. And there are yogis also. And they thought, Ari, you meditate on super soul always, the Paramatma, that Paramatma has come outside. Vrishninam paradevate vidito. Vrishni dynasty people were there. They said, oh, this is the Supreme Lord. He is the leader of our dynasty. He is the Lord. He has come. Rangam Gata Sagraja. This is the way Krishna entered. What were the 10 kinds of people? First, Malla. Malla means wrestler. How did the wrestler see Krishna? As thunderbolt. And then men saw him as the greatest, most handsome, the best amongst men. Then third, Strina. They saw as Cupid. Women saw him as Cupid. Then fourth, Gopal saw as their own Swajan, their own belonging to their own community, their own person. Elderly. No, Gopanam Swajan no Satam Kshitibujam. The impious rulers saw him as punishment. Pitaro Shishu. The next sixth one is the elderly people saw him as a child. Then Kamsa, Mrityu, Bhojapate, he saw Krishna as Kal, death. Then Virata Vidusha, unintelligent people saw him as Virata Rupa, indifferent. And then Tattvam Param Yoginam, yogis saw him as the super soul. And then Vrishninam Paradevate, Vrishni dynasty saw that is the Supreme Lord. So like that, Krishna reciprocates. So there are some atheistic people, they say, oh, Krishna cannot be God because he was killed. So Krishna does such things so that even their desires are satisfied. We also can feel that arrow, that hunter shot an arrow at his toe and he died. But Sukadeva Goswami, for those devotees who are interested to understand Krishna sincerely and they love Krishna, Sukadeva Goswami explains in such a way that devotees will not be bewildered. Martena yo guru sutam yamaloka nitam tvam chanaya charanada paramastra dattam jigyantakantakamopi samasavanisha kim swavane swaranayan mrigayam sadeham. Oh Parikshit Maharaj, please don't think that Krishna was killed. How can Krishna be killed? He gives 4 examples. Martena yo guru sutam yamaloka nitam. His own guru's children were gone to Yamaloka. So Krishna goes there and revives them from Yamaloka and brings them back to life. So if somebody can go to Yamaraj's abode and bring back those who are dead, how can he be dead? Martena yo guru sutam yamaloka nitam tvam chanaya charanada paramatra dattam. Tvam. When you were in the womb of your mother, you had died because of the Brahmastra. Paramastra, Tadam, you were burnt by the Brahmastra. And Krishna entered your womb and protected you from Brahmastra. So how can he die? Jigyantakantagamapi samasavanisha. In the battle with Lord Shiva, the Bhagavatam describes Krishna defeated Shiva. And Shiva, Antakantakam, one who causes death to everyone, Mr. Death, he is defeated by Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is defeated by Krishna. So how can Krishna be killed? Jigyantakantagamapi savasavanisha. And the 4th example he gives is Kim swavane swaranayam mrigayam sadeham. The hunter who shot in the arrow right in front of Krishna, after the hunter shot that arrow at Krishna, Krishna smiled at him. And in front of Krishna, Krishna arranged a celestial plane to take the hunter back to the spiritual world. So one who shoots an arrow at you and you are killed, but your killer is taken to the spiritual world by Krishna, who arranges a vehicle. So how can he be killed? So like that, actually, we will be convinced. But if somebody is atheistic, uska life mein kabhi bhagya mein verse aayega hi nahi uska life. He'll never even get to hear this. Even if he hears this, he will not accept. So the point is, Krishna is wonderful. Krishna reciprocates. So here they are showing how Krishna is being received in Dwarka. And because the devotees in Dwarka love him, Krishna is reciprocating with them. In this world also we receive guests. We receive special VIPs. But we are forced to many times. When I was in school, the Prime Minister of India came, Deva Gowda. He was a Prime Minister for a few months. When he came, we had to receive him. We were all school children. I was in 12th, it was hot sun. We had to wave Indian flag. It was so frustrating. We were waiting for him to go. We were supposed to be receiving him. We were waiting for him to go. But when Krishna came to Mathura, it was different. Because people were in ecstasy. It was the most eventful. Like what is happening in Dwarka, we can draw parallels. How the same thing was happening in Mathura when Krishna entered first time. So, okay. I'll discuss about Krishna entering Mathura. Same way, how everybody is glorifying and Krishna is reciprocating. And Krishna, when he entered Mathura, he was looking at the city. He was coming from a village. And he was looking at everything in Mathura as if he's seeing it for the first time. Wow. It was like Srila Prabhupada said, when he saw in New York in the morning, it was actually snow. But he thought, oh, every building has been whitewashed. So Krishna is super excited to see Mathura because it's the first time he's coming. Actually, it is not the first time. Anybody knows? Krishna in Mathura is not first time. He took birth. So therefore, it is the second time he's seeing Mathura. Well, you should know that. So the day of birth also he was in Mathura only, right? So externally it appears that Krishna is very excited to see Mathura. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, वो externally ऐसा लग रहा है. The real thing is Mathura city was excited to see Krishna. Krishna is coming. So the women, like in today's verse, we are reading in verse number 24, the women were excited, they went to the balcony and terrace. Same thing happened in Mathura also. Because the news had already come from Vrindavan that Krishna and Balaram's stories and pastimes, they would always hear in Mathura. So now these special boys have come to Mathura. So they all went to the balcony. It was a royal grandeur. Their houses have been described in the Bhagavatam, houses made of crystals, the very regal houses. And it was a very different kind of beauty compared to Vrindavan beauty. So the women were doing their activities. They left all the activities in the middle of it. Some of them were dressed half. Some of them had earrings on one ear. They didn't even complete their dressing. And some were cooking. They left the cooking. Some, they just came to the balcony and they started showering flowers on Krishna. And very beautiful, our acharyas give purport that Krishna is entering Mathura, is looking at all of them, smiling at them, because he's reciprocating the same way as he would always reciprocate. In Dwarka also always reciprocating, same way he's doing. But in Mathura, he's looking at all these women who are showering flowers, but he's looking for the gopis. Because he was till that point of time, he was in Vrindavan. So he was searching for the gopis. And he's looking at them, but gopis can't. And the Mathura women are seeing Krishna, they are seeing him as, the verse says, they are seeing him as sweetness personified. Adaram maduram, vadanam maduram, nayanam maduram, hasitam maduram, hridayam maduram, gamanam maduram, maduradipate akhilam maduram. Sri Vallabhacharya has very beautifully explained this, that Krishna's lips are sweet. Adaram maduram, vadanam maduram. And Krishna speaks, there is a lot of sweetness. So we can imagine he's entering now Dwarka, he's greeting Udrasen, Vasudev, Pradyumna, all the residents of Dwarka. How sweet he must be in his talking, in his meeting them. Nayanam maduram, his eyes are very sweet, beautiful. Hasitam is when he laughs, there is a lot of sweetness. Hridayam maduram, Krishna's heart is sweet. Gamanam, when Krishna walks, there is a lot of sweetness. Why? Maduradipate Akhilam Maduram. He is the Lord of sweetness because he is the reservoir of all sweetness. So this king of sweetness is entering Dwarka, entering Mathura. And he's called also in the scriptures as Sarva Saundarya Sangraha. He is the collection of all beauty. So therefore, when Krishna is entering Dwarka and Mathura, we can imagine how everybody must be, all the beauty of the spiritual world has come there. The sum total of all beauty is Krishna. So when the sum total of all beauty is walking in Mathura, the residents just couldn't control themselves. They just left everything and they were just stunned because they had been hearing about Krishna's qualities, Krishna's beauty for a long time, and now they're actually seeing him live. See, that is too good to be true. There is a difference. See, if you love some film star, some sports star, and he comes to temple to take darshan of deities, he will be taking darshan of deities devotionally. But we will be taking darshan of him or her. It happened some time ago when film star had come. Everybody was looking at her only. So when some film star comes, people scream, "Oh, let me touch him. You want to shake hands, you want selfie." I remember I had experienced 3-4 times traveling with Gaur Gopal Prabhu internationally. Nowadays, I don't like to quote his name because I don't want to be name dropping. He's a very famous celebrity. I don't want to give the image that I know him well. That's called name dropping. I learned about it recently. Somebody gave me a feedback. You have all big people in your class, Jay Shetty, and I think you know them very well, so I'll not quote them again. But I remember sometimes I used to travel with them, and the way people come screaming, as if they've seen some. It is so stressful for me. So I stopped traveling with him. I said, Prabhu, you. So one day, when traveling to UK, London, he had a business class ticket. And just because I was in economy, he felt very bad. So he gave up his business class ticket and traveled with me in economy. And I was like, oh, no, no. He insisted. No, I cannot travel like because he couldn't get me on business class because it was full. So I was feeling so humbled. And when he came to economy, everybody went crazy. And वो गड़बड़ में कुछ लोग चाय गिरा दिया, कोई पानी गिरा दिया. So I was thinking how it must have been when Krishna entered Mathura. Oh, people must have, hearing ek kaan mein aisa waisa. So some skills, something we see. See, I grew up in Cuff Parade. So in our colony, there was a lot of modern boys and girls. They used to be fan of Western music, Western movies. So when first time Michael Jackson came to Mumbai, that time Shiv Sena government was there. So one of my colony friends, he was a mad Michael Jackson fan. Mad, matlab, he went to the airport, I think 48 hours before and was standing at that area where Michael Jackson would come outside. And desperately was waiting. And when Michael Jackson came, he was screaming, yelling, and he just managed to touch his outer cloth. He has a lot of like royal cloth. ये जो cloth होता है, not even his body. He just touched his shirt or something. And he got ecstatic symptoms. He was shivering, and then he came to the colony showing everyone his hand, but he didn't allow anybody to touch his hand. He did not wash his hands, he did not touch anything with his hand for 1 week. Because I touched Michael Jackson. And then he was in ecstasy because Michael Jackson, while going from the airport to the stadium, he had to go to the washroom. So he stopped at Bal Thackeray's house and he used the washroom and then went. So he wanted to, this fan wanted to go to Bal Thackeray's house and take darshan of his washroom. अरे यहाँ पे आया वो, फिर घर पे गया ये, धाम हो गया उसके लिए, that became a holy धाम. I'm giving a perverted example just to give you the contrast. How a perverted reflection of Krishna is like this. How Krishna must be. That is the point. I'm not trying to give mundane Prajalpa stories here. So the residents, what all of them did, every verse describes, everybody who saw Krishna in Mathura, they started embracing Krishna in their heart. Everyone. They said, oh, these boys, because Krishna was not alone. Krishna was with Balram and other boys are also there. Oh, these boys are so lucky. They are with Krishna. They started saying like that. And when Krishna entered, who was the first person Krishna interacted with? Akrura, he left. Akrura, bye-bye. Akrura, he said, because he came with Akrura. So Akrura cannot be the first person. Who's the second? Who's the first person? Kubja? No. Dhobi, washerman. He was a washerman of Kamsa. He had many clothes. It was a festival season because there was this Dhanur Yajna and all of that. And a lot of donkeys were also there to carry those clothes. So Krishna wanted to give mercy to everyone. He wanted to begin by giving mercy to the Dhobi. So he requested the Dhobi, please give me these clothes. We are from Vrindavan. We have come first time to Mathura. Bhavishyati param shreyo. If you give me these clothes, you will get a lot of opulences. Krishna is assuring also, bahut milega. So he was giving a special opportunity to the Dhobi to give clothes to Krishna. Now, the scriptures explain that the Dhobi, how can he give those Kamsa's clothes? How can he give Kamsa's used clothes to Krishna? So Yogamaya had arranged Krishna's clothes only there. Like Narakasur pastime, all those queens that Krishna rescued, they were already Krishna's queens, they were kept there by Yogamaya. Similarly, his clothes, it's not that Kamsa used those clothes and Krishna is going to wear that. No. Actually, Sanatana Goswami says, these were fresh clothes, not yet used. So they are all kept there. And so Krishna wanted all these clothes for himself and for all his friends. So he said, give. He said, oh, you may not like. So he said, okay, give only to both of us. And he assured, in the future you will get a lot of benefits, don't doubt. So you can imagine what a fortune this Dhobi had. But see, in festival days, during festivals in our temple, people come with offerings and they give different things. Bead bag, they offer all many things. They offer kantimala, then card, they give everything. And the pujari collects and offers them on behalf of the devotees. You've seen that? And the devotees become very happy. Arey, mera offer ho gaya. Imagine Lord personally comes out of the altar and says, give me. No pujari in between. Lord personally comes and requests, okay, आज आप क्या बना रहे हैं घर में? लेके आओ altar में. Such a privilege. But what was the Dhobi's reaction? He chastised. Because the verse explains he was very arrogant. See, when you are very close to VIP, you become arrogant and intoxicated. You think you are also a very important person. That's a wake-up call. We look down upon others. So Dhobi was neglectful. He thought that he is very special because he is Kamsa's Dhobi. So the Dhobi said, "You impudent boys, you are accustomed to roaming in the forest and mountains, and you are so audacious. You are asking for these clothes. You want to stay alive or not? You are uncivilized, uncultured people. You are vagabonds, loafers. The vagabond, the loafer." Krishna got angry because he remembered Kamsa and what torture Kamsa has done to his parents, Vasudeva and Devaki. And now Dhobi is supporting that Kamsa. So Kamsa का गुस्सा Dhobi पे निकाल दिया. तो Dhobi का भी गुस्सा था. So Krishna slapped him effortlessly and his neck सर तन से जुदा हो गया, उसका neck निकल गया, वो मर गया उधर. Extrajudicial killings. So this is what Krishna did. But it is very beautiful actually. See, we speak about this and we become very happy to hear Krishna's pastimes. There is so-called religion of peace where they claim to be peaceful, but they go around killing everyone. We speak about Krishna killing demons, but we become peaceful when we read that. So that is the difference between our religion and religion of peace. Because in their religion, they don't have rasa concept. They don't have a concept of taste, that Krishna is sweetness, agaram, maduram. They don't understand that concept. They just go around killing people so that they can enjoy virgins in heaven. But anyway, you may think, oh, but isn't this too much to kill? Is it an appropriate punishment? No, externally it was right because the Kshatriya and Kamsa is the enemy and somebody supporting Kamsa and he is telling that you are vagabond. So Kshatriya's ego is hurt, so he's fighting. So that is okay. Internally, there is another reason because this Dhobi was the same Dhobi who was in Ramayana, who caused separation of Rama and Sita. So Krishna ensured that this is his last birth and ensured that after this pastime he goes back home, back to the spiritual world. But you may say, but in Lord Ram's pastime he was there. You could have gone back to God at that time only. So Acharyas explained, no, you can't go back home, back to Godhead because, see, although that Dhobi must have offended Lord Ram, but his offensive mentality had not gone. Like Daksha offended Lord Shiva, then he got the goat head, then he offered beautiful prayers also, he did tapasya also. For 5 manmantras he did tapasya. So many thousands and lakhs of years, but his offensive mentality did not go because when Narad Muni came during the Pracheta's pastime, he offended Narad Muni. मतलब वो mentality जब तक जाएगा नहीं, so Krishna, he gave him such a punishment that that mentality was also removed and he was taken back home, back to Godhead. After killing him, the boys took all the clothes and whatever was suitable they wore and they started, and all the other workers in the Dhobi Ghat, they all ran away out of fear. So like this, Krishna entered Mathura with a bang. Then who was the next Krishna met? Weaver, tailor, Darji. Weaver. He was making clothes, stitching clothes and also making cloth ka ornaments. Ornaments भी लगता है ना? देखो, when Krishna, when you do deity worship, we offer vastram, idam imani abharanani, esha gandha, etani pushpani. We offer all these things. So Krishna is accepting all this offering. So he wanted now ornaments. So this weaver, he did not offer gold and silver ornaments to Krishna. Why? Because he knew abhi dangal hoga, wrestling hoga, sab scatter ho jayega, sab daftar ho jayega. So he offered all the beautiful cloth ornaments he had, cloth and the different nice clothes he had. And the weaver was basically a tailor in his previous birth in Thila. When Lord Ram and Lakshman had gone there, and Lord Ram had married Mother Sita, he had made wedding outfits for Ram and Lakshman at that time. And he had a desire that if only I could personally decorate Ram and Lakshman with this cloth, I could dress. Take out that dress banana. See, our dressmaking team, they make dress, but pujaris dress the deities. Sometimes the one who's stitching, making the dress may get a desire. I wish I could also put it on the Lord, but he couldn't access Lord Ram. But the Lord fulfills the desire after so many years, after so many thousands of years. So now in this birth, this tailor is getting the opportunity to dress Krishna. So this desire he had in Treta Yuga got fulfilled in Dwapar Yuga. So Krishna takes note, be patient. Krishna will fulfill your desire one day. And that time Ram and Lakshmana had noted the desire, they had smiled. And now Krishna said, thank you. So he was dressing Krishna and Balram. And Krishna smiled and he said, you will get Sarupya Mukti. You will also get all the opulences. You will go back home, back to spiritual world. So he was also delivered. And after that, whom did Krishna meet when he entered Mathura?
Pool garland maker.
Who is this? Who answered? Surbhi?
Pranam Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Rohini Mataji, yes.
Chapter 41.
Sudama. Sudama was the name of the person. Not the Dwarkawala Sudama, not Vrindavan Sudama. There is Sudama in Vrindavan also. There is Sudama in Dwarka also. But this is Sudama of Mathura. Who was he? He was a garland maker, flower supplier. See, when we dress deities, we offer all this. We offer clothes, idam, snamyam, klim, Krishna, and then we dress. Then we bathe the Lord. Idam, vastram, klim, Krishna, and then we decorate. After dress, we put jewelry, imani, abharanani, then esha gandha, idam, malayam, we offer mala also. Etani, pushpani, flowers, like that. So Krishna is going to get all these offerings. So this Sudama, he was making garlands for Krishna. He knew that Krishna and Balram have entered Mathura. And when Krishna came, everybody was running to go and see Krishna and Balram when they entered Mathura. But Sudama did not go. Well, he was busy making garlands. He wanted to make the best garlands for Krishna. Service over nectar, seeing. Now, this is interesting. Before Sudama, whom did Krishna meet? Weaver. So when Krishna had not previously had met him, he had also not seen Krishna and Balram. He had heard of them. And when he saw, he offered ornaments. But Sudama is very special. He had already seen Krishna and Balram. Because to collect special flowers for his garlands, he would sometimes go to Vrindavan. And from distance, you would see, wow, Krishna is so beautiful. One day I want to make a garland for him and I want to offer. He would think like that. And you would see Krishna is covered by dust. And Krishna is interacting with all his Brajvasis, but from his Tirchi Nazar, you would also look at that garland maker. And he would note, isko mercy dena hai ek din. Reciprocate iske saath bhi karenge one day. So Krishna takes note. So then when Krishna entered Mathura and he was meeting everyone, receiving gifts and smiles, he asked many people, where is that garland maker who would come from Mathura? Krishna would ask. Because I've seen him, he comes to Vrindavan. He collects flowers and he goes back. I want to meet him now. Please take me to him. So when Krishna comes there, Sudama is so busy making the garlands that he didn't realize they came there. And Krishna went close to him, so close. And Krishna said, Sudama, I have come. Sudama lifted his head. Krishna was so close. Generally, when you see the Lord, you offer full Dandavat Pranam. But Krishna was so close that he could not offer full Dandavat Pranam. He just offered half Dandavat. Because he didn't want to miss Krishna. So, and whatever garlands he had already made, he offered to Krishna, Balram, all the boys. Then he washed Krishna and Balram's lotus feet and took that water, put it on his head, gave it to his family. He offered seed to both of them. He said, now my life is successful. Now all my forefathers are delivered. Now you both have come, all my obligations to all demigods is over. All the great sages are certainly satisfied. See, Krishna went to Sudama without notice. He was actually Atithi. Atithi matlab to bina titi diye aate hain. So Krishna, Sudama had, Akrura had invited Krishna. Just few minutes before this incident, Akrura, when Krishna had entered Mathura, Akrura had said, please come to my house. What did Krishna tell him? Later. Abhi I want to see the city. So he said he will come later. But here he's going without notice, without invitation. But then Sudama said, please order me, whatever is your wish, I will do. I want to do whatever you say. And then, very interesting, huh? He says, the greatest blessing I can get is to execute your order. You order me, give me an order, that will be your blessing. Generally, we give order to Krishna, and if Krishna fulfills it, we think we are blessed. There's a very big difference between pure devotees and us. I want money, I want wealth, I want all this, and Krishna gave me. Krishna is executing what I want. So what a blessing I got in life. This is where we are. Krishna, you are so nice, you are giving me what I want. If you don't give me, no problem. There are 33 crore devtas. I will go to them. So there are many Babajis. India is a spiritual supermarket. You can go to so many places. But this is different. These devotees are different. Krishna, in fact, even didn't even tell him that I want garlands. He knew the Lord will want garlands. See, Krishna will not ask from you something which you cannot give. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. We have to give Krishna what we have and what we can. Krishna's expectations are very simple. He is not asking for gold and hira and all that. But if you are a gold merchant, you can give. You can't be conjuice. So the point is, you should give Krishna happily. And Sudama had made one more special garland, which had aromatic flowers and bumblebees are hovering around that. And that special garland he put on Krishna. Krishna was so pleased by that garland. He said, ask for any one benediction. I'll give you any benediction you want. Krishna asked for, he said, ask for one benediction, I'll give you. And Sudama said, give me 3. 3 मांगा रहे. एक भगवान एक दिन से आप 3 मांग रहे. आप बोलोगे दिखा दिया ना अपना रंग. No, but it is important to see what he asked. He said 3 things give me: unshakable devotion to you, and friendship with all your devotees, and compassion for all living beings. Same prayer Parikshit Maharaj also asked in the first canto. Punascha Bhuya Bhagavati Anante, that verse you can read, 19th chapter. So, see, as devotees, we deal with 3 realities. We deal with Krishna, we deal with devotees, and we deal with non-devotees. These are the 3 people we are dealing with: Krishna, devotees, and non-devotees. So we need blessings for all 3. Krishna ke saath devotion, devotees ke saath friendship, and non-devotees ke saath compassion. Let me give them Krishna's love. So this is very consistent with our Guru Parampara teachings. So then Krishna, what did he say? Tatastu. And Krishna gave some extra also. He said, I give you blessing that in material world you will enjoy unlimited material happiness also. Hare Krishna, something is happening. Online devotees, please keep yourself muted. है ना कुछ आवाज आ रहा है? So please keep yourself muted. All are muted. Thank you. Hare Krishna. तो ये कहाँ से आ रहा है? ठीक है, देखते हैं. There is something special about Sudama because Krishna personally went to him. So why, see, Krishna, everybody came to Krishna. Of course, Krishna went to the others also, but then here it was very special. Krishna is asking about him. Like Krishna is really keen to meet him. So the point I want to ask you is, why Krishna treated everyone in a way in Mathura, but this fellow, this person, Krishna is treating very differently by asking, where is this flower garland maker? He was in his previous life, he was a florist. His name was Hema. And he was a gardener, Mali. So he was known as Hema Mali. सब जाग गए हाँ जो सो रहा था सब जाग गए अभी जाना पहचाना लग रहा है ना नाम हेमा Mali. So he was a gardener in Kubera's garden. And Kubera has a very famous garden called Chitraratha. Very beautiful garden. So he was the main there. So he worshipped Lord Shiva very intensely for 5,000 years, and every day he offered 300 lotus flowers to Lord Shiva. Imagine doing tapasya for 5,000 years. Lord Shiva was very impressed. He came after 5,000 years. He said, you have pleased me so much with so much worship. What do you want? And what did this Hema Mali ask from Lord Shiva? He said, please I want Krishna as a guest in my house. And Lord Shiva was so happy to hear this. Because Lord Shiva has already explained in the fourth canto that whoever worships Krishna is most dear to me. Prapannosi priyo hime. Whoever takes shelter of Krishna is most dear to me, he says that. So now this is what this Mali is asking. See, there are many examples in scriptures of people getting Shiva's blessing, and by that blessing they get Krishna. Prachetas is a classic example. They went to the forest to worship Lord Vishnu, and Shiva voluntarily came there and taught them Rudragir. And for 10,000 years they chanted underwater, and Lord Vishnu finally gave them darshan. And there are pure devotees like Lord Shiva who also give blessings of Krishna to others. Like Narad Muni came and gave blessing to Nalkuver Manigriva, because of which they got Krishna darshan, like that. So basically, whoever gives Krishna, whoever gets Krishna is never a loser, and whoever gives Krishna is gives to Krishna is never a loser. Shabari gave. And that fruit vendor in Vrindavan, she came, her basket was filled with jewels. So like that. So how many people Krishna met in Mathura? Gopi, Weaver, Sudama. And then after that, Abhi Kubja. तब पहले Kubja बोलते हैं. Kubja is now fourth. Because ointment is left, fragrance is left. Esha Gandha, Klim Krishna, Gandha रह गया. And she was an hunchback lady. She was called as Trivakra, means crooked in 3 places. Kubja. She was not beautiful. Interesting, Krishna is also bent in 3 places, but he is called Tribhanga. Kubja is not called Tribhanga, it's called Trivakra. She was not beautiful, but she became most beautiful because she offered whatever she had to Krishna. She did not resist like the Dhobi. Dhobi and Kubja should always contrast. I am like Dhobi or I am like Kubja. So, because like Dhobi had kept everything for Kamsa, so she also was offering ointments and fragrances for Kamsa. It was meant for Kamsa, but she chose to offer it to Krishna. That was her special qualification. See, we may think I am a devotee for many years of Krishna, but in the inner world I may be Dhobi. My master is my senses, which are like Kamsa. I may be pleasing Kamsa only. Like I may offer Krishna chocolate, pizza, what I like, always, but still it is better than not offering Krishna. But always it's about me, my senses, my mind. So the focus is me, then we are Dhobi. If focus is Krishna, then we are Kubja. And we may be bad, we may be ugly, we may be crooked, no problem. But this choice we make of pleasing Krishna, then we become dear to Krishna, we become beautiful. See, when we want to serve Krishna also, why you want some devotees say, Prabhuji, I want taste in bhakti. Why you want taste in chanting, Prabhuji? I ask them, why you want taste? But so that I can become happy. You see, 2 kinds of answers. Huh? You ask yourself, when you want taste in chanting, I want to chant attentively and I want to have taste. Why? Because I want to be happy. That is conditional bhakti. There's another devotee who says, I want taste in chanting. Why? Because when I have taste in chanting, my love for Krishna will increase, no? If you have taste in chanting, your love for Krishna will increase. And when your love for Krishna increases, then you will be able to serve better. And then that will make Krishna very happy. You see the difference? First person wants to have taste in chanting so that he can be happy. Second person wants to have taste in chanting so that he can increase his love. And in that love, when he serves, Krishna will become more happy. So first one wants to be happy, the second one wants to make Krishna happy. So the final point, what is the final point? That makes us Dhobi or Puja.
Who is happy?
Who is happy? Then Krishna looked at her, and the first thing Krishna tells her, oh, beautiful one. Hey, Sundari, he calls her like that. It's amazing. Krishna calls her, oh, beautiful. And she's not at all good looking. She was very ugly. And she said, what are you carrying and for whom? Now, Krishna Chakravarti Thakur explains that she was untouched by Kamsa because Kamsa thought she was ugly. So therefore, Kamsa liked her only for the fragrance and the oil that she would get. And she introduced herself to Krishna saying that I am Kubja, but Krishna called her the beautiful one. Srila Prabhupada also called devotees, he said hippies have now become happies. So somebody asked him, what do you mean by hippie? Who is a hippie? Reporter asked Prabhupada. Then that YouTube video is there. Prabhupada says, hippie, you know better than me. What is a hippie? Then Prabhupada said, hippie means something extraordinary. So then there is one very famous story, offline, I'll tell you the name of the Mataji. She was a very famous Australian actress. She was Mick Jagger's girlfriend. She was very, very beautiful. And she became a devotee. And she joined temple. She started washing pots. So all the newspapers carried front page headlines. Imagine if Alia Bhatt comes and washes pots. Something like that. साड़ी वाड़ी में तिलक में हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी हरे कृष्णा वॉश कैसा लगेगा सब लोग शॉक हो गए कि नहीं तो this Mataji, she was a very famous, very beautiful actress, and today also she is a well-known devotee. She is a guru in ISKCON. She is very well known, and I go to their house when I visit Australia also. And Prabhuji is also a very bona fide guru, Prabhupada disciple. They have been married, and they all got married also very amazing way. Prabhupada told him, you go to Hong Kong, I've chosen a girl for you, get married to her. And you go there and get married to her. And they have remained married for the last 40, 50 years. So anyway, that's another next level of surrender. So this Mataji, from such a background of being a Hollywood actor, she's washing pots, and the front page headlines has two photographs. One on the arms of her boyfriend in the previous avatar, and now in this avatar, she's washing pots and smiling. Both photographs, and the newspaper head was given to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada looked at the second photograph and said, she's looking so beautiful. Prabhupada found her very beautiful in the second photograph because she was serving Krishna. That glow and happiness was palpable. This is what happens when we serve Krishna. Devotees' understanding of beauty is completely different. So Krishna smiled at Kubja and said, can you give us some of your oils and scents? And when Krishna smiled at her, Acharyas have given detailed commentary on why Krishna smiled at Kubja. Our Acharyas, some other day, I think we should discuss. There are so many reasons after reasons. See, he just now killed Dhobi some time back. He's coming from that weaver and Sudama. Now he's looking at Kubja, he's asking for ointment, that oil, and he's smiling. He smiled because, Sanatana Goswami says, because she was small-eyed. And Krishna looked at her and said, well, as Vamandev, I am also very small in height. So you're also small. We'll make a nice pair. And Krishna was thinking, people will see us together and they will think, अच्छी जोड़ी है, मस्त जोड़ी है. कृष्ण अकेला रसामृत मूर्ति है ना तो हमारी अच्छी जोड़ी बनेगी so like that. So that's why Krishna was smiling. This is the way acharyas are seeing. See there. And second reason our acharyas say why Krishna smiled is because it's Krishna's nature to make everyone happy. He will naturally smile. And Kubja is willing. She wants to give the ointments. So he's smiling. That's nature. Thirdly, he's smiling because, see, it's very interesting. Krishna has come to Mathura with his friends. So what rasa is having with his friends? Sakhya ras, friendship wala rasa. And Mathura Vasudeva was Adbhuta rasa, astonishment, wow rasa. So different rasas with all. So Balram, friends are all there. It is Sakhya ras. All friends are laughing. And so in that Sakhya rasa, in that happy moment with all his friends, he's laughing. That's why he's laughing. So Kubja is just coming friends in that mood only, in that Sakhya rasa only. And the fourth reason why he laughed was he saw her body is deformed, but her face is very beautiful. Krishna considered her to be very beautiful. Although she is deformed physically, but she is internally very beautiful. So seeing that paradox of destiny, Krishna smiled. And the fifth reason why he smiled was, this is very esoteric, but chalo, aapke samne bol dete hain. Krishna looked at her and said, he smiled because he said, oh, I have promised the Brajvasis I'll come back after 2 days. So when I go back to Vrindavan, all the gopis will tell me, Hare, you didn't find anyone else or what? You did Ras Leela with us. We are so beautiful. And now your first girlfriend in Mathura is Kubja. So anticipating this cynical question and teasing by the gopis, he smiled. He was wondering what I'll answer them. So thinking of that, he smiled. So then Krishna, the sixth reason why he smiled was this: Krishna started thinking, I'm the one who's giving rasa to everyone. I'm the one who gives juice, rasa, mellow. Now I'm asking her to give chandan, rasa. So again, this contradiction made him smile. The seventh reason why Krishna smiled is because, Krishna, one of the names of Krishna is Lalit Madhav. What is the meaning? Anybody know the meaning of Lalit Madhav? Lalit Madhav means one who's expert in wooing girls. One who can captivate women is called Lalit Madhav. So Krishna is Lalit Madhav. So he's trying to captivate Kubja with his smile. So like young boys try to a woman. So he saying, let me first smile at her, and if she also smiles, then she's put out. Kudi hasi to hasi. So Krishna, in that agenda, he smiled. That is the reason why Krishna. Look at the amazing, how many reasons they are giving why. So another reason why he smiled is because he says, I do Ras Leela with Radharani, Lalita, Vishaka. They are extremely beautiful. Now Kubja, when she understands I am with those gopis, Kubja may get inferiority complex. So they reassure her that you are also dear to me. He's smiling at her. So like that. And then ninth reason, there's so many reasons. I just give one more. Sanatana Goswami says Krishna's nature is to smile. कुछ कर ही नहीं सकते. Like, some people have a nature to be sad. You've seen some people, like we have one brahmachari in our ashram. He's always as a sad, even when he's happy, his face is sad. Some people, even when they are sad, they are smiling. Our Daruk Prabhu, driver, he's always smiling. Even if it's a big problem, last 25 years I'm seeing him. Prabhu, I asked him, Prabhu, what miserable. When he smiles, you can't know that he's miserable. वो nature है उसका smile करना. He was going through some big problem few years back. It was so cool externally. So that Krishna is like that. Krishna is always smiling. That is his nature. Some people are always like sad. I remember in our one program at Borivali, there was one boy who was coming. Vibhishan उसका नाम था. हमेशा सा आगे बैठता था, रोता रहता था. Vibhishan Prabhu. So एक बार गौरांग प्रभु बुलाया. I didn't tell गौरांग प्रभु background, and he's very intimidating. Somebody sitting right in front of you and looking at you, staring at you. As a speaker, if you are giving lectures, you will know what it is. And Gaurang Prabhu also got intimidated because Gaurang Prabhu was giving class, Gaurang Prabhu looking at him, and I could see, but I was in the audience. Said, "Arey, बोलना चाहिए था Prabhu को." Gaurang Prabhu smart है, बोलते क्या, but Gaurang Prabhu से रहा नहीं गया. He lost patience at one time. And he looked at him. He said, "क्या नाम है आपका?" So he said, "Vibhishan." तो हंसो थोड़ा, रावण कब का मर गया. रावण कब का मर गया, थोड़ा तो हंसो अभी. Everybody laugh and he's still like this one. उसका चेहरे में है ही ऐसा, क्या है? So Krishna is like that. Krishna's nature is to smile. That is the ninth reason. The last reason I'll give is expertise of Krishna. Krishna was smiling because he was doing two things at the same time. He was with his friend, so he was having fun. So he wanted to assure his friend that he's having masti. But with that smile, he also wanted to reassure Kubja that he loves her and this is Madhurya Rasa. So Krishna was balancing two rasas, Sakya and Madhurya. This is Krishna's expertise. And he was doing this expert action by smiling. So like that, he smiled. 10 reasons why. सोचो हमारा लाइफ बचपन में स्कूल में एग्जाम में ऐसा होता था. 10 reasons why Krishna smiled at Kubja. 11 reasons why आगे आएगा बहुत सारा चीज. Why Krishna closed his eyes when Putana came. उसके ऊपर 25 reasons है. Anyway, so our acharyas are so wonderful, Anyway, Kubja is so Krishna asks Kubja. So Krishna says, Kubja says, I am Kamsa's servant. He has appointed me. Basically, she's a government servant. And she says, I am bent in my neck, in my back, and in my waist. She was bent. And this Chandan is most dear to Kamsa. And he likes it. I am an employee of Kamsa. But all of you who have come, you deserve the best. So Vishwanath Chakravarti immediately clarifies. She kept saying, this is for all of you, for all of you. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says she was actually feeling shy. She wanted to say, Krishna, this is all for you. She wanted to express all her love to one personality, but she kept saying, "Aap sabse pyar hai," because she didn't want to make it obvious. So she felt general, "Aap sabke liye hai," but she meant it was for Krishna only. समझने वाले समझ गए? बोला ना? Yes. हाँ, ना समझे वो ब्रह्मचारी. समझने वाले समझ गए, ना समझे वो अनाड़ी. Yes, there is a song like that. So through glances, through speech, वो समझ गए. इशारों इशारों में हो गया वो. So then, but Krishna is expert. See, Krishna, lot of things, lot of conversations of Krishna happens through signals. Like when he comes from Vrindavan with the cows, when he enters Vrindavan, the gopis, they throw small flower petals at Krishna. And in some of those petals, there are some secret codes written by the gopis. Krishna says, "Where are we meeting?" And then Krishna looks at them with this glance. They understand कहाँ मिलने वाला. ऐसा सब उनका language रहता है कृष्ण. And they get the answer. This is all part of Shringar Rasa. ये रोज होता है वृंदावन में. Material world में Shringar Rasa is painful. So anyway. So then she said, "I'm Trivakra. I'm bent in 3 places." And so Kupja says something very interesting to Krishna. She says, "I'm Trivakra. I'm bent. I'm hunchbacked." You may remember there was another hunchbacked lady in Ayodhya, and she was Mantara. She was very twisted. She was not bent in 3 places, but she was crooked in her mind, and she caused the Lord's exile. But I am twisted only in my body, but my mind is not crooked. I love you and I want to offer everything to you. This is what Uddhava says. And Krishna also doesn't see external beauty, he sees only the internal beauty. So he becomes very pleased with her. And see, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime. Yesterday I was speaking in Govardhaniko village, Sanatan Goswami's body was filled with all these pus, boils. Mahaprabhu ignored all that external things. Vasudev the leper, all leprosy in his body. Mahaprabhu ignored all of that and embraced him. So therefore, Lord doesn't see, because Lord does, when we come in front of him now, he doesn't see external what is there. He doesn't see our speaking skills, he doesn't see our beauty. He does CT scan. He goes inside, andar kya hai, he sees. He knows our motives. So in Krishna consciousness, we want to become beautiful internally in terms of our aspirations. See, when Srila Prabhupada was giving initiation, very famous story. There was one young 16-year-old girl. She was very beautiful. And Prabhupada looked at her initiation and said, "Oh, you're so beautiful." Who was this? She's a very famous devotee in ISKCON today. Rukmini Mataji. Prabhupada gave her the beads and said, "Your name will be Rukmini Das." And Prabhupada said, "Now become beautiful internally also." Gaurani Prabhu's mother. Yes. So that is our goal. What is our goal? We want to become beautiful. So ISKCON temple is a place where we come to become beautiful. So in one sense, ISKCON is like a beauty parlor. Next time your family members ask you, "Kahan ja rahe ho?" Beauty parlor ja rahe. Where are you going? You can tell them you're going to a beauty parlor. Anyway, so Kubja, when she got this, when Krishna asked, she started applying all the chandan on Krishna and Balram's face. She was doing it publicly. She was not afraid of Kamsa. That is amazing. She could have done it private, but like gopis were expressing love privately, but Kubja was doing publicly. She was just not at all afraid. The Brahmanas were afraid of Kamsa, so they did not give offerings to Krishna. But the Brahmana Patnis, Chaturvidam Bahugunam Annamadaya Bhajane, they ran to Krishna. So like that. So Krishna was pleased, and how did he reciprocate with her? Anybody knows what he did? He put his left hand where? On her waist. Krishna put his left hand on her waist and his finger on her chin and toe on her feet. And straightened her. She became the most beautiful externally also. Now Krishna could have directly made her beautiful, not by just looking at her. Why did he have to hold her waist, chin, and then put his feet on the toes? उसके ऊपर अभी 15 reasons हैं. And the point is, Krishna Katha is pure nectar. So I'm not reading all of this. 76 pages notes. I shared only 20 pages. It's time now, I'll end. But the point is, Krishna Katha is pure nectar. And I'm stopping here. We didn't even discuss Krishna after Kubja he enters. वो धनुष तोड़ते समय क्या होता है? Then what happens in the night? They sleep. Next day morning, who they meet? Koale Pida, then Chanura Mushtika, then Kamsa. Next week नहीं. अभी तो बस के ऊपर जाएंगे. आता रहेगा. So anyway, so I'll stop here. So what is the theme today?
How does
Krishna enters Dwarka and is reciprocating. So we took Krishna's reciprocation was the theme. So then we entered Mathura. And we saw Krishna reciprocate with devotees in Mathura. Because we are anyway reading about Krishna's reciprocation in Dwarka. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We have exactly 4 minutes left. Well, I never take questions last few weeks, so I was feeling a little bad. If anybody has any questions or comments, we can take.
What is invalid Brahmanas?
Invalid? Old होंगे ना? Old invalid मतलब किसी का पैर में चलने में तकलीफ होगा. Invalid. आपको लगा illegal और non bona fide लगा. Self proclaim नहीं. Invalid. थोड़ा physically old. आजकल तो अच्छा वर्ड यूज करते हैं ना, दिव्यांग, transcendental limbs ऐसा बोलते हैं. Physically challenged, handicapped. Past time है बाबा. Past time का question अभी बोला ना, he was Dhobi of previous Ram का. Why he was like that? I have no answer. Sorry, I don't have answer to your question. Why Dhobi was like that? I don't know. Krishna Yoga Maya ना past time. See, questions we should ask for philosophy. ठीक है? Past time का question पूछना मतलब बोलने वाले को भी कभी like I don't know how to answer. I have not found any answer. But I'm sure some acharyas must have given. But past times I am very bad in past time matlab what? Past time is beyond logic. Past time is like time pass. Your friend comes suddenly out after a long time, and in a public place, your friend comes and beats you on the back, the जोर से. And then you laugh. First you एक दूसरे गाली भी देते हैं कुछ लोग. तो अभी किसी व्यक्ति ने देखा, अरे गाली क्यों दिया उसने ऐसा क्यों किया? अरे वो पास्ट टाइम है, उनका फ्रेंडशिप है, वो क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या लीला कर रहे हैं भगवान वृंदावन में, मथुरा में. लीला है हमारे दिल को आकर्षित करने के लिए. तो लीला के अंदर if you are looking why is it did like that, then you have to look for some esoteric rasic reason which our acharya will give. So you'll have to read all those books, Sarartha Darshani, Dashama Tippani, or Sanatana. I have not read all of them. इधर उधर उसको पढ़ा, इधर उधर से सुना, उसे जमा करके I brought आपके समक्ष पेश किया. So that you get taste to read the original more. I do चालू काम, मैं इधर उधर से काम जमा करके बोल देता हूँ. Okay, sorry to disappoint you. Any other questions are coming? Yes.
Previous lections were so fearless.
This is a good question. Kubja was not.
Sure.
She was Shurpanka. Yes. No. Wait. She is representing Mother Earth. मैंने पूरा उसके ऊपर बनाया था. कहाँ गया यार? Can I get back to you on this? There is उसके बहुत बड़ा स्टोरी है. ओ इधर तो चला गया मेरा नोट्स. Give me 1 minute. मिलेगा. Yes, she was Shurpanka. Because she had developed conjugal feelings for Lord Ram and it was not fulfilled. So what she did? She said that she did 10,000 years of worship of Lord Shiva. And she asked Lord Shiva for this blessing. Lord Shiva said, next incarnation में आपका application दर्ज किया है. So, शूर्पणखा को भी hope है. Hare Krishna. So So we'll stop here today. Thank you very much, Dantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Thank you, online devotees, for not only coming online and also keeping your videos on.